you reach those heights also. You got 60 million investments. You are an entrepreneurs, top entrepreneurs in US.
So it was really a challenge of how can we build this company as fast as possible. I've been profitable almost since day one and continue to be so today. I worked day and night and weeks and months, and I put all this amazing work into their brand.
Somebody told me that there is a platform called Upwork. Till then I was not aware of that, and I told it's a red ocean. Like if you jump now in 2000 after COVID 2021, so you will never get succeed as a marketer. And I hired a bidder over there, a very experienced bidder. And within 6 months, we got.
You don't walk people in the Home Depot and say, hey, let's go look at all the tools and you can buy them all and you can build a house. No one wants to hear that, right? They just want to hear that you can help build them that house. And if you can help build them that house, you can solve those problems. People are ecstatic. They'll say, yes, 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 take my money. You do the same thing. Like, hey, do you want more 5-star reviews on Google? Do you want to have a higher rank? You know, when people search Google, do you want to rank higher?
I want to ask, like in HighLevel community in Facebook group, we have all those admin rights. And people over there post positive also and negative also. And I have seen in lots of communities, people never let them post negative comments. Okay, somebody's struggling in this, but in your community, everything is going on. You are replying on positive as well as negative. So who's your favorite mentor? How you get inspiration?
After him, probably my co-founders.
Like big players like Guston, Pang Jun are whitelabel of HighLevel. And there is also a lawsuit going on with ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson with that. So can you give us do we need to concern about because I am also on whitelabel, so lots of people have these questions. So it's like a money-making machine while you sleep. And one last tip you can give to the people who wants to be a SASpreneur, who wants to make their SaaS agencies. If people wants to connect with you and wants to take mentorship.
I accept everyone who sends me a LinkedIn request.
Welcome to new episodes of Marketing Funnels with Nipun Syal. So today we have with us Shaun, co-founder of HighLevel. Hi Shaun, welcome to our show.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so my question is first, how the HighLevel name comes to your mind? So what was the story behind that?
Well, that it didn't come to my mind actually. It was my wife who made the name. I always ask her anytime I want to start a business. I've always asked her for the name, and she just sits there and throws out names, and I'm checking to see if the domain is available. So she actually came up with the name.
Okay, and you reached those heights also. You got 60 million investments. You are an entrepreneurs, top entrepreneurs in US. So there was a vision in your mind when you started HighLevel?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so what was your 5-year visions from now? What is your
5-year vision from now? I get this question a lot now, and I have to say, I want to take what we're doing just to a totally different level. Like, I feel like we've really come into a model that is really the way software should be sold, and software should be used to help small businesses all over the world. So I guess for me, it's really about taking what we're doing here in the US and really taking it in a big way internationally. And, I'm proud to say, I think it's about 5 days before the end of the quarter here, but we'll have a really great international translation for, I think it's 13 languages. And then we'll also have some new payments providers in some of the countries so we can make sure we're supporting the right payments. We already have Razor Payout in India for UPI. So just giving that way, as other entrepreneurs in other countries see the opportunity, they're able to do it, in their local language, in their local payments. So they don't have to work around it. It can just flow like everything else.
And I have seen all your social media posts. You're not very much active on social media, but on the HighLevel community, you were the most active guy. So how this phase comes to you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. This is all just how I come, right? So I'm in the face. In fact, I like to tell the story. I wasn't even on Facebook until HighLevel. And it really is about helping people, right? I want to help our customers. I want to know what pain points they're facing. I want to know how I can help. If I can help, great. If not, I can find the right person. And I just think, I feel like I'm very much in service of my customer. And I feel like that's the best place for me to really connect with people. And so that's why I do that. I'm not a personality. I don't have any courses to sell you. I'm not super attractive or anything. So I don't have any of that going for me. So I don't need to be posting on social media or standing in front of fancy cars or anything. I just would rather help people build businesses and, help, if they have issues, whatever they may be, try my best to help them out.
Great. And there is one more software you have promoted a lot apart from HighLevel, that is Loom. So every day you come up with Loom, and till then we marketers just get up with the older Loom. Okay, so that's the new functionality. We need to go
Yeah,
and
right.
hands on. You come up with new Loom. And I asked this question to Varun, like, do you hire any VA to apply that? But in your case, Loom is the solution that you are the one
Yeah.
behind that.
It was just
So
the
how you,
quickest,
yeah.
easiest way for me to
Yeah.
to film a video. And you know what I will say, and I guess I really do appreciate this. If you want to get information out, doing so quickly really does trump quality and production and all that. If all you're trying to do is get out something, sort of like informative. And for us, what's great is I can just snap off a Loom, tell people about a new feature that we launched, just so that the sooner they know about it, the better. And I have a great team now that comes in and does really in-depth tutorials behind me. But for the people who are just like, I don't need the tutorial. I know what I'm doing. I just need to know that feature is live and where to find it. Loom is a great tool to help make that happen quickly.
Right. So how you come up with ideas like, okay, the coming is this, next coming is this, and
Oh,
the
we
second
we
stuff. Yeah.
don't. That's
Yeah.
the fun
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
So the way we work is a little different than other software companies, I think. We ask our customers what they want, and we let our customers vote on what they want, and we literally take those votes and turn them into the features. So we really rely heavily on our customers to tell us what's important to them, because we feel like they're the experts. They're the people who are in the field every day working hard, and we want to make sure that the tools that we create really reflect their needs, not something we dream up or something that we think is useful, but we really want it to be something they think is great.
And that's really great. And how you tested those products, because every day you are coming with new and new features. Earlier those days you have lots of time, but now you occupied with the meetings and those stuff. You have a testing team, also a big team. But how you think that, okay, apart from this upwards, what's coming up next? Because right now AI is in that trend. So what we can
Yes.
expect AI in HighLevel?
I am super excited about inbound voice AI. And
Yeah.
there's some demos of this slowly leaking out online, but we're going to be launching it officially, I think, in October. But I come from a funny background, so I dropped out of college to start an answering service, which an answering service is basically a bunch of people who take calls on behalf of small businesses. So you call the plumber is out doing a job, it rings their phone, they don't pick up, and it rolls over to this bank of people that pick up and say, "Hey, thanks for calling Bob's Plumbing. How can I help you?" And what was amazing about that experience is, we grew it to a huge operation, 5,000 small businesses. And what I got to see is the average business gets a ton of phone calls every day, and they miss those calls. And those calls are not people calling to ask like about the weather, or that's not your friends. They're people calling in to give you money. And if you miss those calls, right, you're going to miss that business. And so what we're going to be doing is taking AI and basically replacing that functionality in a similar way, different but similar. But the idea is we can now use AI to take those calls and help take those people who are calling and turn them into customers. And so I think every small business, if you ever ask anybody, have you ever called a business and they didn't pick up? And the answer is always, of course. Well, if we could put AI in there when that person doesn't pick up, I think it's huge. And so I've seen the demos; they're really great. They provide that sort of receptionist functionality. So I think that's the most exciting thing for me. That's new for us on the AI front.
So I think like apart from your software is replacing ClickFunnels, Calendly, HubSpot, lots of other software. Now Air is also into this because Air is like AI calling stuff.
Yeah, they're very much outbound, as I recall.
Yeah.
And we will have an outbound solution, but I think if you've really worked with AI, you kind of know that there's some limits to what AI can do at the moment. And I'm certain that will change over time. But I think what's really important is, when you call in, you're just trying to get like most people are getting a very short path. Like, how much does it cost? Can I book an appointment? There's like a very succinct number of things versus an outbound call. You're trying to like make a pitch, or you're trying to like get me to buy something. It's a totally different kind of flow and rhythm. Right. And so ultimately I think that's where, I think the inbound side is really key. Plus it's something you could sell to any small business. Not every plumber makes outbound sales calls. But they do. Everybody gets inbound calls. So if you're looking to sell a product to somebody, this is a great product you can sell to any small business, basically worldwide, in my opinion.
Yeah, even like missed call text back is the one which is very good, which is
Yeah.
helping that, but that is partly. But now AI is coming to which if
Yeah,
somebody
but
pick
see,
up a
now you got
call,
the calls as well, right? Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Missed call, text back. So if you call, you can
yeah.
text, or you can pick up on the actual call. So I think that's going to be huge.
So worked as Answer Connect, you already told, and Invoice Sherpa was the one which changes everything. Can you tell me a little bit brief about that?
Oh,
What
sure, yeah.
was?
So I I really always wanted to create my own software, like a lot of people, I'm sure.
Hmm.
And I went out and I created a piece of software that basically reminded people to show up on time for appointments. And I remember telling somebody about this who was like a big software person. And they said, yeah, but that idea is terrible because a million other people have already done that. And you should come up with another idea and all this. And I was really sad and disappointed that he had crushed my dreams. But it turned out to be great because I was talking to some friends of mine who are accountants, and they said, we have lots of people who don't get their invoices paid on time, and their businesses actually will go out of business because of this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. And they're like, yeah, you should remind people to pay their invoices on time. And I was very skeptical at first, as I often am of good ideas.
Hmm.
But ultimately, it turns out that's a really big issue. And so I just took this existing software and I pivoted it. And it turns out, yeah, every small business actually has this problem. So you take essentially automation and you put it, and the reason, by the way, people don't pay invoices isn't because they don't want to, or they just forget. They like get behind, or they get busy with their lives. So if you just sit there and nicely remind them, they'll pay. And so I turned that into a service that I think I sold to about 1,000 small businesses. And I really helped a lot of people put a lot of money back in their business.
Hmm.
And for $49, $97, whatever it was a month, I was able to oftentimes both put a lot of money back in their business, and also sometimes take an existing staff member who hated doing this job and put them back on a more interesting role within the company. And so, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. It's a very stressful time, but also I learned a lot. And yeah, so that was kind of my first independent software company I did by myself.
Great. So how the journey comes up with Varun first come and then Alex come. So what's the journey behind that?
Oh, sure. So Varun and I met first at the answering service. Actually, we actually opened an office in India, and I hired him for his first software job, and we worked together for many years on all kinds of because we built all of our own software for the call routing and call scripting and things. And so we worked together for many years there. And then he left, and then a couple years later I left, and then when I started HighLevel, I really wanted to work with the best software engineer I'd ever met. And Varun was definitely that person. So I reached out to him, and he wasn't available for a while, but that was okay. I sort of said, all right, well, I'll just kind of wait him out. And eventually his endeavor blew up. And then I wasn't ready. So he started building while I wasn't ready. And then finally we were both working together. And then literally, I would say 6 months into it, we had some customers on HighLevel kind of version 1.0, but we were really struggling because while we had a good product, we found that the small businesses didn't have time to learn it. And so we were kind of trying to figure out, well, how do we fix that, right? And so we literally got a phone call randomly from this guy named Rob and Alex, who had a marketing agency, and we had a co-customer in common. We were serving one of their customers, and he was calling to figure out what we were doing with them. And so it was funny because I remember thinking, why am we talking to this guy? He doesn't pay us any money. He's not a customer of ours. But he was super smart and nice. And he did something pretty amazing, which is first he told us, hey, could you build this feature and this feature, which was awesome because we like building features, as you know. And then he bought it for all of his other clients, so that was really encouraging. But what he really did is he opened our eyes to the fact that a lot of small businesses work with external third parties, marketing agencies, consultants, whatever, to really implement a lot of this technology. And so we said, well, instead of trying to force the small business owner to learn how to be a marketer, what if instead we just helped the marketers really help their clients directly? So we could get back to the SMBs through these folks. So we really pivoted our whole business that way and said, we're not going to sell to SMBs anymore. We're just going to sell to professional marketers. And, it radically changed our business. We wouldn't be here without it.
So what were the initial challenges when you switched from small business to directly to digital marketing agencies?
Well, a lot less challenging than before. I'll tell you that. I mean, it certainly was it was interesting because I mean, right away we got a different audience. These people understood, like when we said landing page builder, or we said, text automation, or we said whatever, they understood what we're talking about. That was refreshing. We didn't have to sit there and try to translate everything. And because a small business owner's like, well, why would I need a landing page? And you're like, well, let me tell you all about a landing page. And you're like, I don't have time for that. I want to build stuff, right? And so and then also marketers are very connected to each other. So they were already on Facebook, and they were in groups, and they were talking to each other. So it was a lot more collegiate environment. And I would say, the challenge was just, really, it was interesting because the challenge switched to, how do I convince you that a landing page is a good thing, or you need text automation, follow up, or whatever. It switched to, wow, this is amazing. Can you guys build a system that's 100 times bigger than this? So it was really, how fast can you catch up to the largest CRM platforms on the planet? And, it took us five hard years to get there, 6 hard years to get there. I don't think we're quite there yet, but it certainly got better. So it was really a challenge of how can we build this company as fast as possible, without the compromises that I saw with other companies, like taking on a lot of other people's money to keep the lights on. We always want to run a profitable business. So for us, it was really about being profitable, which I'm proud to say we have been profitable almost since day one, and continue to be so today. So we've been able to fuel this business based on profit, which I think makes it radically more stable and sustainable than relatively, almost anybody else out there.
So that's really amazing, and you are already doing that. So next question is, I was creating a funnel for a US celebrity, and in that case, that US celebrity was like, are getting good sales because when they onboarded, it was all on HighLevel, and it was like on my funnelzai white label of HighLevel. What I did, they want everywhere to be their name associated, but it was with the products which is for old people. So the things are not resonating that much. But I pretty much convinced them, okay, we'll make it a funnel different way, and we'll put it like a ventured buy. So lots of time what happened with the business Antava, they want to put their name in every product. But
Yeah.
in your journey, it's white label is exactly white label. There is nothing about like high level behind that.
Oh
So
yeah.
how you come up with that courage? And second is,
Yeah.
for affiliate you are giving around 40% and more than that for some cases. So how you come up with 50-50 partnership? So how would that come into mind?
Yeah, so the white label story was really, again, our customers always lead the way. So I talked to a lot of agencies, and so the story would always repeat itself. It would be like, so I got this client, and then I needed some software. So I told them to go buy XYZ software, right? And then I worked day and night and weeks and months, and I put all this amazing work into their brand, and I set all the software up, and I got the software to do the thing, and then it ends up that I got a call randomly at the end of the month, and they were like, listen, it's been great working with you, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let you go. And they would say, wait, hold on, I don't get it. You're doing great. You're crushing it. What's going on? And it came down to, they would say, well, this software sure seems like it's doing all the work, you see, and you're not doing any of it. And of course, we all know that's nuts. Well, we do, marketers, right? But what would happen is, it's just simple. The small business isn't a marketer. They're not qualitatively analyzing it. They're just looking at dollars to dollars. So I would see thousands of dollars out to the marketer, hundreds of dollars out to the software, and they would think, well, this is obvious. I'm going to get rid of the marketer. And then of course, invariably a couple months later, the software isn't magic. It's not feeding itself. And so what would happen is the software would stop working. But by that time, the small business owner isn't going to call you back and say, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I realize now that you were the magic behind this. So it was like, how do we fix that? How do we have that problem never happen? And so by white labeling it, it basically made that the software and the person ubiquitous. They were the same, right? And so, and then of course, the funny story there is that's as far as my brain got, and we got that all out and everything. And then eventually, people started. I would talk to them, how's that going? Is it working for you? And they would say yes. Oh, and by the way, we're also selling the software on a monthly recurring basis. And I said, like SaaS? And they said, what's that? And so that really began our SaaS journey. And so that's kind of the white label background. And then in terms of the, kind of the partnership aspect, we are great product and engineering people. We always thought of ourselves that way, but we aren't great salespeople or marketers. And we felt like if the best way to sell a product is to get people who use it to recommend it to people that they know. And we really wanted to incentivize and encourage that. And we felt like that was kind of the right way to do it, right? So if you're willing to go out and use your reputation and you love our product and you use it and you recommend it to somebody, I feel like you should get credit for that. And we don't have a sales team. We don't do SDRs and BDRs and outbound calls and ads and things. And that's just not who we are. And we don't know how to do it. And for the people that do, I think it's an amazing skill. And if we felt like, how could we create a model where if they were willing to use that skill on our behalf, we owed them something for that. And so we created this model where, you can get paid a recurring monthly, fee to, for that, for the entire life of the time that person's a customer. So in some cases, hopefully forever. And so we thought that was a fair way to go. And I think it's worked out pretty well, because I think it really does recognize if you're willing to go out and recommend us, we're willing to stay in there and say thank you for that for forever and ever.
That's really great. And from the SaaS word, I have seen your t-shirt, it's SASpreneur. And
Yes.
SASpreneur is
Oh yeah.
around the corner right now. So what people can expect in like Texas are SASpreneur event. So people who don't know about it, please brief that. And people, what they can expect only with the networking, what kind of learnings will be there?
Yeah, so I mean, for us, it's a business model. It's a model that says, look, doing bespoke services is really a broken way to go. You really and selling tools is also not the right answer. The answer is becoming a SaaSpreneur, and that is really this idea of taking things that scale. This is like templates or methods or assets or workflows or automations or funnels or whatever it is, and it can be multiple. There's all kinds of different ways to do it, but it's about making things very scalable that are ultimately powered by both your unique IP in terms of your creations and your assets, plus the software, so that when you finally do put that product out in the world, it is a recurring product, it is monthly, and it is very scalable and highly profitable for both you and for your clients. But it doesn't chain you to your desk. You don't have to constantly be updating some website or putting together some new bespoke design, because those don't really, that business model doesn't scale. And so being a SaaSpreneur is what that's about. And our events in Dallas are all about are really all about that. It's really about trying to teach you how to go from where you are today, whether it's I don't have a business or I have a marketing agency where I'm doing custom websites all day long, to, hey, I can get you a lot better return on your money and a lot more scalable situation by becoming a SaaSpreneur versus what you're doing today.
Yeah, that's really, and that's remind me of a story of a SaaS. Like somebody, I was speaking at an event, somebody told me that there is a platform called Upwork. Till then, I was not aware of that. And then told it's a red ocean. Like if you jump now in 2000 after COVID 2021, so you will never get succeed as a marketer. Then I took it as a challenge. Like let's see what happened over there, and I hired
Yeah.
a like bidder over there, a very experienced bidder, and within 6 months we got $0 revenue. We
Oh
got no
no,
client
that's
over there.
terrible.
And then the first guy come to me and he jump on a call. He said, I want to build a funnel on HighLevel. And at that time I was not that aware of HighLevel, what exactly it is, frankly speaking. And
Yeah.
I say yes, because I just want that project. Okay, I will learn. I created funnels on other software, and then I onboarded that and I do, and then say, okay, it is replacing Zapier, because I was very good in automations. I use Zapier, Pabbly, Make. I go, it is replacing that. I did that work. He gave me 5 stars and it was a project. And then after 3 months, we come into top 10%. And after 3 months, we are the top 3% talent of the world over there. So then
Wow.
I thought at reaching out this point, and I did with you lots of US celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Coco Hayashi, Ahi, lots of music producers. I built a funnel. What happened over there is, and after that, we and my team realized that every time we are jumping up with the new clients. So what's the another model we have? So every time, because when their funnel start growing, some of us give a share, but some jump to our next client. Again, we need to struggle for that. That's where the SaaS word comes to me. And then I search, okay, so you have this plan. Then a whole idea come up with. So can you tell me like what exactly gold, platinum, diamond awards for SaaSpreneur? So the people who are looking
Yeah,
for it.
absolutely. So yeah, so we really, we've seen awards in other companies, and one of the things that we didn't like is we didn't like the fact that they awarded people for the amount of money they drove for a client, and we thought that sort of we thought that was disingenuous. Like we want to really, I mean, and we wanted to really it was about us. We wanted to focus our results around the results of our customers, not of our customers' customers. Because if our customers weren't doing well, we felt like that that's not who we want to be. We want to make our direct customer very successful. And so we created our awards around their success. So based on how many customers they get and the revenue behind that, that's how we put all the awards together. So we have some people who, we never were really sure how big this would get, but first had some people at 10 accounts, and that was cool, and then it became 100, and then that was awesome, and then it became 1,000, and I think we have some people now that are above 10,000, and so we're gonna have to find a new award here in a minute. But it's amazing how big people can really get. But what I am proud to say is it's all around not the success of some campaign they ran for some client. It's around the success of them as a business owner. And of course, they're making their clients successful, because otherwise they wouldn't be here. But the fact of the matter is that they're doing well, their family's doing well, they're able to achieve their dreams. And so to me, that's the most important part of what we do.
So that's really good. And there are lots of people have one more concern. Like big players like Guston, Pangjun are white label of HighLevel. And there is also a lawsuit going on with ClickFunnels, Russell
Yes.
Brunson with that. So can you give us like, do we need to concern about because I am also on white label. So lots of people have these questions.
Oh no. I mean, ultimately, that patent was generated pre-Alice, and so if you go look that up, that was sort of a time when you could write something down on a napkin and patent it. And so that patent is kind of, if you read it, it sort of patents websites, which is a little broad, I would say. And so ultimately, I think that whole thing is more about getting attention and that kind of thing. It's really less about any kind of real issue. I think, well, unfortunately, what I will say about the legal system is it moves very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I have zero concern about that. Mostly because I think it's a patent that's sort of granted in a time when they would grant me a patent for again, writing something down on a napkin. I think these days that patent won't really hold up to much scrutiny, and so I think ultimately in the long term that patent will go away and be a non-issue. But I think in the short term, it's less about a real legal issue. It's more about trying to get our attention. So I think ultimately there's really not any concern at all there.
Okay, so you made my day. And there is one more stuff like snapshots. Snapshots are quite popular feature of HighLevel because I created snapshot for real estate. I created snapshot for
Yeah.
some food chains. So it works beauty products in very well. But now in the last week, I was get to know about that ClickFunnels also come up with the same pattern. They name it as a framework.
Oh,
So
so
it's a
so they
similar
took one of
pattern.
so they created one of our features. Oh, okay, cool.
So
Good for
it's
them.
like a framework, yeah. So what are your calls? So the framework is exactly same stuff. You can create a snapshot because we
Sure.
are very
Yeah.
used to snapshot, and then you can just move it to another account. So
Yeah.
what's your call
Yeah.
on this? Like lots of people are also taking this same stuff from you also now.
Oh, I think that's great. I mean, I think that's a
Yeah,
really great form of flattery. I mean, ultimately,
yeah,
I'm not surprised. In fact,
yeah,
I've always long believed that it's not a feature race, because if that were true, we wouldn't be here, right? I mean, when we started, there were a lot more features in many other software products than we ever had. Now, we're engineers, so we have a 500-person engineering team, and we'll continue to invest in it, and we will continue to have you name the product, we'll probably build it.
yeah.
So we certainly will not slow down on the feature side. But I think it is really about the community that we've built and the way that we've done it. Ultimately, you said this earlier, like our brand is nowhere to be found, and I'm so proud of that, because I truly believe that by putting our customers' names out on stage, on the bright lights on them, the crowd knows they're the people who are responsible for all of these amazing things. To me, that's the most important thing. It's taking the ego off the stage and making sure that our logo isn't there, because we don't want to take credit for your work. We want to help you. We want to be part of your journey. We're proud to be something that you work with and use every day, and we want to do a great job for you, but we don't want to take any credit from you. And I think that's a big difference, right? Ultimately, you go look at the most beautiful homes that'll get built this year by the most quality craftspeople and designers and everything else. But DeWalt Tools doesn't stamp their name all over the house, right? That would be insane. No one would buy off in it. But for all I know, that's what they use to build the home. And I'm certain that contractor really cares a lot about those tools, because when it comes down to it, they want to make sure that house is well built and the tools matter. But fundamentally, the tools don't get the credit, because the tools are useful, they're necessary, but they're not the reason the house is so amazing. That's what you do. That's what you're responsible for. And it's super important to me that no one ever loses sight of that, because I think you deserve all the credit. So for me, that's what makes HighLevel special, not the features that we build, and whether we have this feature or that feature. that's not what's going to make us successful in the long term. It's really going to be about, are we helping you build a business? Are we helping you make money? Are we helping you meet your dreams and goals and be successful in life? That's what matters to me more than anything.
Yeah, that's really great. And from the feature, it reminded me of an incident. I was doing a workshop at earlier stages of HighLevel when I was on the Whitelabel. Then I tell, okay, this software can do this software can do this. And there was around 60 people in the room. And after that, we thought that, okay, how many will close? We'll talk with our team. So nobody's, only two will jump on that. Like they onboard immediately. Then what was the problem? Then we just reverse engineer and we ask people like by calling, okay, what she said, software is quite good, Nipun, what you are telling us, but it's very overwhelmed for us to observe that.
Yeah,
And then the
totally.
very next week, I did a same event. Then I focus upon the result. Hey, how many of your sales team missed the call? Everybody say yes. It's a missed call test spec feature. So that will solve your problem. Then I relate everything with the problem they have. I didn't
Yep.
tell that, okay, we have this feature. I tell that that will be done. Okay, so how many of time people doesn't show up on your call? Then lots of people say yes. So there is a auto reminders 24
Yeah, there you
hours,
go.
2 hours.
See, perfect.
Yeah.
That's genius. That's the number one tip I give everybody. So I love that you figured that out. It's don't tell them,
Yeah.
don't try to sell people on. It's like you don't walk people in the Home Depot and say, hey, let's go look at all the tools and you can buy them all and you can build a house. No one wants to hear that, right? They just
Yeah.
want to hear that you can help build them that house. And if you can help build them that house, you can solve those problems. People are ecstatic. They're like, yes, 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 take my money. But yeah, they don't want
Yeah.
to learn how to learn a new tool. That's not what people are interested in.
Exactly. That's where in the second event I got a conversion of 70%. Then we
Nice.
cracked that. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah.
see, there you go. Fantastic. See, you're a long way from your Fiverr days.
Right. You can easily. So, can you give me like this question is from my colleague Vibhas, like
Yeah,
lots of people from Asian countries like R, India, Dubai. So they have their white label suit. Even like I have visited the US, also have a 10 years visa. But if I go there, I have lots of client over there. I need to spend
yeah,
1 to 2 months over there.
yeah.
Any plans that we can expect SASpreneur stuff over here also in Asian countries?
Yes, we are going to be doing an Asia event next year.
Okay. So
Absolutely.
any,
We're going to continue
but
to
yeah.
come out worldwide. I mean, I fully expect that we will do one international event next year and probably multiple the years after. It's really on us about this is a new motion for us, but scaling up our events team. We just got to the point where we can handle. We do a ton of events here in the U.S. now, and either as attendees or exhibitors or whatever. And so we have all of that, but now we put on 4 events a year here, but now next year we're going to take one international, make sure we kind of get that done really well, and then we'll kind of scale it up from there.
Right, and you will get lots of traction from here because lots of
Oh
people
yeah.
are, yeah. And even
Well,
last month,
I was just in India. We have a big team there. I was visiting them. We were in Jaipur for an event.
retreat.
Yeah, a
You are
retreat. Yeah.
having your
So it was all.
retreat.
I mean, I love coming to India because it always reminds me of how much amazing, like how many people are there, how much is going on all the time. It's just boom, boom, go, 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 go. And India is expanding at such a radical rate. So it's always fun to get out of your home and see the rest of the world, to remind yourself that there are places where things are going gangbusters. And so it was very cool to do.
Yeah, and I think it will be a huge hit when you do some event in Asia.
Oh
It will
yeah,
be a
oh
huge.
yeah.
Lots of
I've seen
people
a
wants
couple
to
other
go.
people, in tangential spaces who do events. I'll tell you, you can fill a
Yeah,
room. I had somebody tell me they did a 50,000 person event, and they had the photos to
yeah.
prove it. I was like, man, that's crazy. So yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Right. I'm really excited for that also.
Very cool, very cool. I can't wait to see you there.
Okay, so my next question is, which one is Sean's favorite feature of high level?
Oh,
I'll
well,
share my.
I mean, it's really about following up with the leads. So when you get a new lead, making sure that you're
Yeah.
on them immediately. And generally, I still am a texting guy. I still think that's the right way to go. But yeah, you send them a text. Hey, thanks a lot for registering for my cool, amazing Facebook offer. Is now a good time to get you booked? And using the automation to let them say, yeah, I'd love to book an appointment. Great. Here's a link to our calendar. Or what time do you want? These days you can conversate the whole thing. What time do you want to come in? So it's really the automations, I guess, more than anything, because that's the thing I think that can have the biggest impact for most people. Now, I will say, inbound voice AI. I mean, if all that I've watched, what I think is cool is I've watched a lot of people do the demo in different ways and try to break the bot and things, and they have not been successful yet, which is astounding to me. and it really tells me how good the team is. But that might become my favorite feature. So we'll see. But for today, it's definitely the turning of leads into booked appointments via the automations. That today is my best feature.
Okay, so that's really, and one tip you can give to SaaSpreneurs, because lots of people easily onboarded that, but the
Yes.
customer side is very difficult. What needs to be done
It's
at their
not.
customer side so they
That's the
churn out?
problem. It's not.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah,
what's difficult. What's difficult is people aren't listening to what you just said, which is
yeah,
you got to sell the solution. So every
yeah,
small business, you just have to, like you said, you go in that room, you're like, hey, how many of your salespeople miss calls, right? It's like you do the
yeah,
same thing. Like, hey,
yeah, yeah,
do you want more 5-star reviews on Google? Do you want to have a
yeah,
higher rank? You know, when people search Google, do you want to rank higher? Every business is going to be like, absolutely,
yeah,
right? And so reputation management right there, getting me more reviews, huge, right?
yes,
I use the Alpine HVAC example all the time. We have a help doc on it. That's the HVAC guy who walked in my house with 12 reviews, and he was one man in a van. And literally, he was the only HighLevel customer that I sign up directly. We do one thing for him and one thing only, $300 a month. Every time he cuts an invoice, we shoot out a text. Hey, this is Alpine Access. Thanks a lot. This is Drew at Alpine. Thanks for letting us serve you. We'd love it if you'd leave a review. Here's a link that makes it easy. Jumps you right to Google. No fancy tricks, no gating, no nothing. Fast forward 5 years, the guy's at 1,000 reviews and he's got 30
yeah,
trucks. He doesn't do HVAC himself anymore. He's a huge HVAC company here in my town. One feature, $300 a month. He never calls me. Start
yeah,
simple.
that's
Start with
that's
the
really
problems that
good.
they have. Give them solutions to problems. Stop trying to sell everything HighLevel has. That is a waste
Yeah,
of your time. Sell one feature. And if you can't stomach one feature, sell
yeah,
two. But please don't sell it all because you don't know it all. You don't need it all. And it doesn't matter. You may not ever need some of these features. And that's okay. Ultimately, start with something
yeah,
simple, make the sale, go build a business. And, the other piece of advice I always give is start local, stay local. You can build a very good business just walking out your front door, and you have a lot of advantages talking to local businesses in your area that you otherwise would not have trying to connect with a business, even one town over, because as soon as you get as farther out than you're willing to drive, fundamentally you're going to be getting on a virtual call and you just can't create the same connection as you could with the business down the street.
yes. And that's remind me of one more stuff I used to do in the events. I tell who in the event wants only 5 stars or reviews, and everybody say yes, and then
No
I
one says
show
no to
them
that.
automate.
Exactly. That's great. That's
Yeah.
super smart. That's a great pitch.
And then everybody comes up with yes, and then I show them 5 star automation, like it will send a form, and if somebody select 5, and it will open up a pop-up to
Yep.
review, and if
There you
somebody
go.
say 432, we put up an internal notification.
That's
So
funny.
people
There you go.
so
That's a great way to do it. Hey, who doesn't want just 5-star reviews? I love that.
so that's really helped me out. Okay. And apart from this, like how the new things are coming up with HighLevel, like right now you have built everything. So what's your next
Oh no, we
apart
have a
from
lot. We
AI?
have a lot more to go. Well, I mean, you'll see.
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of
Yeah.
level up days around the corner, so I can't spill the
Yeah.
beans. Level up days when we launch some of our biggest features of the year. So you'll hear all about it here in October. But there's some
Yeah.
big, big, big ones, including the inbound AI voice that I talked about. But we have a lot of other features, and it's really just about trying to continue to make the app simpler and easier to use. And again, there are lots of things I can think of, like, think about domains today. Today, if you have a custom domain, you got to go outside of HighLevel. Well, maybe in the near future, you won't have to do that. And it'll be more all inclusive. And so the more we can make the app simpler and easier to use, the better. And so there's still some big features yet to come.
So that's really great. And I want to ask, like in HighLevel community in Facebook group, we have all
Yeah.
those admin rights. And people over there post positive also and negative also. And I have
Yes.
seen in lots of communities, people never let them post negative comments. Okay, if somebody is struggling in this, somebody, but in your community, everything is going on. You are replying on
Oh yeah, yeah,
positive
yeah,
as well as negative.
yeah.
So how you take that?
Oh, I mean, I never like it, but I mean, I
Yeah,
also think that trying to see where people are running into painful, difficult situations is how we learn. I mean, we're all human, and we all make mistakes, and we're all imperfect, and we want to figure out where we're falling down. And I think if people aren't feel like they can't say how they're really feeling, it's just hard for us to pick up on that. Some people are nicer about it
yeah,
than others. I'll tell you that.
yeah,
But we try, even when people are just angry and upset. We try to realize that really what they're just saying is I want help, right? I need help, and I'm just mad about it because I'm trying to get your attention. And so we just sort of try to, just try to give them kindness and try to understand what's really going on. And it's amazing how, I mean, I can think of countless times when someone starts, way up here, I'm the most mad I've ever been, and I think I hate you, and I hope you get hit by a bus. And all of a sudden, you get on a call with them, and they just feel heard and cared about. And all of a sudden, you even find out, oh well, actually, it's just like this little checkbox. You just check it, and they're like, oh my gosh, and boom, like they're so happy, and they're not angry anymore. And so we just try to always remember that. That's just how humans can be sometimes, and so we just try to approach it that way. And I think that's what the Facebook community lets us do.
So that's really great. So you take it negative as a feedback and you try to solve
Sure,
them. So that's
absolutely.
really good about this community.
Yeah, yeah.
And how's your day looks like when you just woke up? You are the one who just checked the first phone and check the community, what
Yeah, yeah,
exactly
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
I try not to trip down the stairs as I'm looking at my phone in the morning, and then I sit on the couch for 30 minutes and watch Bloomberg News and drink my coffee and wake up and try to start getting back to messages, and then product calls are generally my first order of business for the day. I like to know how the product teams are looking, how our products are coming, what our features look like, that kind of thing, and then I just kind of let my day go from there. And I try to limit the number of meetings I have to the least number, and I try to stay as present and connected with customers as I can, throughout the day, be it Facebook posts or Messenger or that kind of thing.
And I have, when I was researching for this podcast, I was looking and I was searching on internet. I've seen some of your video stuff 5 years back, and you
Yeah.
are getting younger day by day. So what's the secret
I doubt
behind getting younger?
that.
Yeah.
The sad news is I doubt that. Yeah, maybe less hair day by day. Someone will have to put a compilation together.
But still, you look slim that much. Like,
Oh,
how much
thanks.
size?
Well,
Do you
yeah.
exercise or what do you do?
Yeah. So I mean, probably not as much as I should, and probably not as routinely as I should. But I really enjoy running, and I've always been a runner. I can sort of, it's a nice way to kind of let your mind go, so I enjoy that. And but nothing super crazy. I enjoy skiing a lot in the winter.
Okay.
And so I think that's I do it for fun, but I think it's technically exercise as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but nothing crazy, nothing extreme. I'm not, I don't have some crazy regiment that I follow or anything. I think that's other people have that stuff. I'm not organized enough to stick with it. So I just do the best I can.
But the secret is like you are very energetic in Loom videos also. So hey, this switcher is coming,
Yeah,
go this, and it gives us lots of excitement, energy to us. Okay, so we
yeah,
need to give
totally.
our hands on this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, everybody's different, right? But for me, I get really excited. I get super excited about that stuff. It's really great to see, and I just am so proud of the team that makes that happen. I mean, they work so hard, um, and they're really driving towards amazing things, and they're very talented engineers, and product managers now, and designers. There's a whole team of people that put this together, and so to watch it all come to fruition, I know how hard they've worked. I know what really went into it. I know that they truly want to help people, and so if I can get that out there, I want to get that out there in a big, exciting way, because I know they put their heart and soul into it, and so I really want to show them respect by making sure that everybody knows that it's out and it's available, and for the people that needed it, And what I think is so funny is I will look at a feature and I'll be like, that is such a niche feature. Like, I don't even know if most people will know what that feature is, and then I'll put it out, and then someone will comment like, "This is the feature I've been waiting all year for," or something like that. And I'll be like, "See, there you go. That's the point. That's why you can never judge a feature by its cover, because ultimately there's somebody out there who they really, the reason it happened is because, again, we get feedback from our customers. We know they want these things. We make them happen, and we know we're going to delight somebody out there. And ultimately, today we're going to delight somebody who knows it's not there, but tomorrow someone else is going to come in and think, oh, well, of course it's always been here. So it's a really cool way to be able to win on both ends.
Yeah, and that's remind me of one of more incident related to HighLevel. So that was I was building a funnel for a coach, and I thought like it was on funnelz AI HighLevel, and then she told me that okay, after 1 hour, I thought like she will be very impressed with the funnel. She called me up, said, Nipun, I love the feature of posting it on all our social medias from just one click. And
Yep.
I was expecting something related to funnel.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
will
yeah.
say
You're like,
that.
wait, hold on, but what about the funnel?
Yeah. Then
That's
I
cool.
give them a freebie. Okay, so we can do right now. Instagram automations are there. Just give a freebie to some ebook and let them automate everything into this. Then
Yeah,
she did seriously, and then she posted, and we put automation with the comment stuff. Everything goes on autopilot.
that's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So who's your favorite mentor? How you get inspiration?
Warren Buffett for sure. Um,
Okay.
and then after him, probably my co-founders. And the reason why Warren is because I've followed him for years. He's super old. I don't like. I mean, I mean, I don't. I've gone to Berkshire Hathaway's annual meetings like 8 years in a row, but I never go there to like say like, ooh, what's the next stock to buy or something, because
Mm.
he doesn't tell you anyways, and he would say he doesn't
Okay.
know, and I think that's actually true. But what I love is that he's super old and he's been doing the same thing he's doing today. He's been doing that over a lifetime, and I really think people who've done things that are very sustainable are the type of people you should look up to. I think in the moment, a lot of people can appear to be very exciting and cool and all this, but I think the problem is like a lot of those people you find out later, yeah, whatever they were doing either it wasn't true to begin with, or just isn't sustainable. And I think it's hard to find great heroes, and I think the best heroes are the people that can do something consistently over a lifetime. And for me, it's business, and I love business, so I want to find people who doing that over a lifetime. And then, fortunately for me, I have two co-founders who are amazing in all the ways I am not. And so so they're very cool people to look up to. I mean, not only have they, I wouldn't be here without both of them, and they teach me new things every day. So luckily for me, I've got some great heroes very close by that I can look up to.
Yeah, and I did a podcast with Robin and Varun also. So how you guys are
I
at
heard.
different places. So how you run the company? I just want to know.
Well, mostly they run the company.
Yeah.
They're the smarter and better looking too, so they run most of it. But I'm just here mostly for the videos. But the way we've always done it is we just know our strengths and weaknesses really well, and we each complement those, and we have such respect for each other in the things that we do well. And so, Varun can run an engineering team way better than I could ever hope to, and so he gets that job, and Robin can run operations, and honestly, I mean, almost anything else better than I can. So he gets the
Mm.
rest of the job, and then whatever's left over,
Mm.
I get. So they let me do the videos.
Good. So from Warren Buffet, I got a point like that is quite similar. I got a similarity. So Warren Buffet says like if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're gonna work until you die. And Sean's LinkedIn, your
Yes.
LinkedIn also says something like this: full suite of white label software solutions and service guaranteed to add revenue to your bottom line overnight.
Yep. There you go.
So
Exactly.
that's a quite of similarity. And even HighLevel is doing this. Like even when
Yeah.
every day I
Absolutely.
woke up,
That was the
somebody
idea.
got yeah, somebody got onboarded because I have made a funnel about this. Like everything is demo is like pre-recorded. People find this, okay, and then they come out and they will roll out the onboarding form and all those
Totally.
stuff. So that's what you are saying, and implementing lots of the life of marketers and other people also.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which one is your favorite book?
Ooh. That is a good question. I actually really like a book called The Psychology of Money, and it's a book about investing, but it's really about doing it in a really sustainable kind of psychologically friendly way. So you don't instead of laying out like if you do this, you're guaranteed to maximize this and this. It's sort of also taking into account like most people can't handle or stomach doing extreme things. And so here's a more balanced approach
Mm.
where most people can. And I think it also talks a lot about people's sort of misconceptions around money, where they sort of think there's like a certain thought process where they feel like you have to do it a certain way. And this book does a great job kind of showing that a lot of that stuff is nonsense, and that there's
Mm.
much easier ways to do things
Mm.
where you don't have to stress yourself out, or you don't have to bet big on something that's crazy and that sort of thing. So I really like that book.
Okay, so that's really amazing. And if you want to explain high level in just one line, so what will be your call
Oh,
on this?
you tell me. You know better than I do. How
Yeah.
would you do?
So it's like a money making machine while you sleep.
There you go. I like it. That
Yeah.
sounds good to me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think HighLevel is many things to many people. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
all-in-one, piece of software that's got everything you need to market and run your business. You can. I used to say capture, nurture, close. So everything to capture leads, nurture leads, and close leads, and that's still true as well. But we've moved well beyond that as well. So I mean, it just all depends. If you, whatever type of business you might want to run or do run or hope to run, I think HighLevel is the right platform for you.
Right. And it's like a win-win cases for our clients also. It's just not only like we are generating money, they are also having their lots of
That's right.
problems
That's
solved.
right.
And
Everybody, it's a
lot,
win-win-win.
yeah.
Does it work?
Exactly. And one last tip you can give to the people who wants to be a SaaSpreneur, who wants to make their SaaS agencies. So the tip you can give to our viewers.
Yeah. So I mean, the biggest thing I always see people do is just sit around and not do enough. Like, don't hide behind your computer. Get out into your local business community. Local business meetings. This is where you're going to find your first customers. That's where you're going to make your first sales. That's where you're going to create your first connections. And the sooner you do that, there's no magic cold email strategy, and there's no magic sit behind your computer and make it happen strategy. Most of the time, when you're first getting going, you got to get out there and talk to people. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be successful. So even though it may feel hard and difficult, and it is, and it feels very unscalable, and I guarantee you there's enough business in everybody's local community to make you a lot of money and do it in a very scalable way. And if you and even if you and I always like to say, even if you dominate that local community, don't worry, because there's ways to take it beyond that. But I've met very few people who go from nothing to international domination. It just doesn't work like that. It builds up over time. It did that for us. It'll do that for you. So please, please, please get out from behind your computer, go talk to people, meet people. And even if you're like me, I'm an introvert, I'm a software engineer. It's still, there's a community of people out there in your local community you can still help, and you can connect with in a different way. And you don't have to be salesy to do it. So, but ultimately, forming connections, super important if you want to grow a business.
Right, very well said for about the connections part. And if people wants to connect with you and wants to take
Sure.
mentorship, not from only for high level, because right
Yeah.
now you have lots of experience. So which is the best platform they can reach you out?
I guess LinkedIn is probably good. I mean, I accept everyone who sends me a LinkedIn request. I know half of them are going to say, "And I'm here to sell you this," but that's okay. I just ignore those people. But you never know who you're going to connect with. So so LinkedIn's probably the best.
So how you take this when somebody starts selling you up? Hey, we got connected. I want to
Oh,
sell you some.
I just ignore it most of the time. These days, it's the other great thing is it's mostly automated. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I am like anybody. You give me the right thing, and I'm absolutely going to buy it, right? Because that's how we all work. But most of those people, it's something where they haven't done the research and they haven't taken the time, and so they're just it's just putting you on blast. You're no different than the 10,000 other people their LinkedIn bot is hit up, but at the same time, I never know, and so I just accept everybody. And it's amazing how many great people I've met by doing that.
So that's really good. And thank you so much for taking time
Of
for
course,
us. Like, yeah, thank you
100%,
so
man. Thanks
much.
for having me. It's great to be here.